All right, here it is. It's supposed to be the Casablanca Moorea in the box. Let's see what we get. Okay, right inside here. Huh, there it is. Here's the Moorea. It kind of smells, if I'm being frank. It has a 188. It's kind of dusty. Has some dirt and rust to it, so I think the first thing... I'm not sure what all these wires are for, though. I have no idea why. Because I would think it'd be like black wire, white wire. That's interesting. Huh. Okay. Alright. So essentially what we're gonna do, we're gonna restore this parts fan into its former glory. And yeah, alright. So let's take it out of the box. Thing for it. So looks like it's made out of ceramic, and I'm grateful that he really sent this to me. So we need to do is super glue it, piece it back together. Yeah, I believe something like this would happen. Here's the light. Unfortunately, it did not come intact. So what I'm gonna have to do is one, super glue it, or two, there's a community day at my town where we're able to just go and learn how to glass make. I think I'll have to make maybe a new glass, taking some of this apart. So it's kind of a shame, but it's fine. Hey YouTube, welcome to the Casablanca Moorea restoration project. So, how I got this fan came from eBay for a really good price, way off the MSRP, but there's a catch and it needs to be restored. So here's what I have. I got the fan body, and I've got kind of the parts to fix it, but the first thing I want to do is clean it because it is extremely dusty. Unfortunately, the light wasn't so fortunate. It shattered. So to fix that, I'm thinking I'll be able to go maybe to a town meeting and ask someone to, or maybe I can make a new glass or just fix it all together or something around that. However, if you did want like the non-light option, it's there. It also didn't come with a remote, but fortunately for me, I have a Casablanca VersaTouch remote from the Wilderness. So I'm thinking getting like a VersaTouch receiver and at least trying to convert this to VersaTouch. I'm not sure if that's going to be possible, but we'll see. So that's what I have. It's supposed to work, but I obviously know it's not because of those wires. Those are meant for down there for receiver. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I'll see you when I'm restoring. Basically what I'm going to be doing now is cleaning up the mess that I have over here and just condensing it into one pile so it's easier to work on. So as you can see, I'm in gloves, I'm in a mask, and the reason for this is because this fan is extremely dirty. It has a musty smell. I don't know where this fan came from. For all I know, it might have come out of the smoker's house. From what I've been using to clean, I'm going to be using OxyClean and WD-40. So yeah. Also, to prevent WD-40 from getting on your floor, I recommend covering the floor with blankets or something that will at least protect it from damage caused by WD-40 or other chemicals. With that being said, let's get into it. There's some screws on top, so what I'm going to have to do, first of all, the base is extremely dusty, so I'll try my best not to ruin the tag, but too lucky. First off, I want to kind of get this some microfiber towel and then treat the it's close to rusting. It was pretty close. And it makes such a huge difference. Let me tell you already. It's a lot of dirt. So now that I can see kind of where it is better, I'm going to be using one of these and wiping it all off. Just wanted to get... This is Armorall. It's meant for kind of metal surfaces, so... Oof. But yeah, it's an extremely dirty fan. I have never seen one this dusty in my years of working with fans. Oof. Alright, the next thing we want to do. So it looks like I've at least gotten the base off. So what I'm going to have to be doing, I'm going to take off these screws here so I can access the motor, hopefully. And get a better clean at the fan assembly at the same time. So.
Alright, now what we need to do is get the middle screws off here. But what you may or may not notice is that it has this on it. So what you want to do is get your Allen wrench and twist it. And remove it out before you do anything with that. And it goes out just like that. And then there should be these, and then this screws the ceramic housing, which is good. And then you're going to take apart these 3 screws, and that should be able to stop.
Alright, now that we've taken the screws out, we can get this loose and get access. And oh my god. It's dirty. It is filthy. Full of dust. Oof. Well, this is where the fun begins, as they say. Just go into these bad boys. And it's already making a difference. Oh my goodness. Now the cool things about these wipes is that it has a non-greasy formula, so doesn't allow too much grease to get in, but as you can see, it's making a difference already. Unfortunately, this really is meant for metal, but, well. And look how much of a difference it's made. It went from completely filthy to better. I'll say that. It's not like it's clean yet. It's just better. But it's definitely made quite a difference in the fan. Alright, sneak peek of what we're going to do next. First of all, I want to get these wires down here because these wires are meant for a receiver, but it doesn't have one. That being said, the fan won't work, so I need to get off a new receiver first and foremost, but the next thing I do want to do is glue this back together, of course, because this has been pretty chipped off. So the way I'm going to do that is get some super glue and essentially just super glue this back together. I'd have the parts for it, so it won't be too bad of an issue actually. Alright, so to put this piece back together, what we're going to be using is super glue. So in order to do that, you need to be very cautious. Another reason why to use gloves, I've had super glue on my hands. It is not fun. Alright, now that we have the super glue on.
Oh wow, backwards hole? Yeah.
Alright. Good God.
I look backward and it's like, oh, very nice. Very nice. Very...
Unless this fits like a puzzle piece, which yeah, it actually does. I may actually be able to use super glue here. So we take our super glue out, put it on here, same thing as we did for the other piece. And knock this in. And fits just like a puzzle piece. So that's it. So now that we've got that, I can put this screw right back in and officially fix the ceramic motor housing. All I'm going to be doing for today is just removing this ground wire from this that I got from my Casablanca wilderness. Really simple. All we're going to do is just get my screwdriver and just Alright, so had a little bit of difficulty taking that off there. Turns out the screw on that down rod from one of the many parts of the Casablanca wilderness was stripped, but I was finally able to get this ground wire off and find another screw identical from one of my very many Casablanca wilderness parts. So what I'm going to be doing is super simple. Sorry for my dogs barking. That's really just going to be screwing it in here to replace and compensate for the ground wire. And you may be asking what I'm doing right now. Bring it up to test for mechanical issues on the fan that may be related from inside or whatever, because I'm close to getting the receiver. Such as this. Like, the blades are fine, but I think this part here is a little loose, so I think what I'm gonna need to do is tighten that back up. But yeah, here's how it'll look. Very fascinating. So what we're doing right now is we're using this acrylic paint to match with this, and as you can see, I've already used some of it. So here it is. I think it matches pretty well with the fan, to be honest. I can't really tell too much of a difference. So yeah. Now the fan housing looks just like new. So for those looking to restore Moorea like this one, the color is burnt umber, and this is a Liquitex acrylic. So yeah. Okay, so problem here. I'm not sure if it's wear and tear or what, but the whole blade assembly is loose. From the looks of it, it's because of like those screws, so I may need to tighten those, and hopefully that'll get these blade irons secure and screwed in properly. But yeah, that's just how it came out off eBay, and that's why I love restorations like these. Pretty sure this is a flywheel, but correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, as I said earlier, what I'm essentially going to do is tighten each of these gold screws so that this assembly stops bouncing, and I can have a functional piece of Casablanca history. So yeah, I left the blade on for this reason alone, so when I'm tightening it wouldn't fly. So I think these are good, but like these screws here may need a little bit of tightening. Next up, what I'm going to be trying doing is fixing the glass on this. Before we start, what we want to do is wear some of these gloves that will essentially prevent us from getting glass cuts, and we want some super glue to try, and I'm going to try and see if I can get that back together. This super glue, it was advertised to fix glass, but we'll see if that's true. Without further ado, let's get into it. So I've taken off a lot of screws already. Again, it's going to be the final one. This glass was damaged during shipping, unfortunately, so some stuff I have to put on, but it's not going to be too much of a problem, hopefully. I say that in hope. I'm going to take that apart, and now we can just basically set the electrical aside and focus on the glass. Next up, I'm going to open my super glue and just squirt some on the side it was damaged and wait until it finishes up. Another reason why I want gloves, we don't want super glue on our hands. It's kind of a pain. I've done it before. Okay, got that to stick. I could focus on the next part, which is, I think it's this one here. Hopefully that aligns with this, but I'll be doing a little check to see if that is actually true. Alright, doesn't appear that it does. I think it aligns over here, actually. And yeah, aligns perfect. So I don't want to tilt this and like accidentally damage the integrity of it. So what I'm gonna have to do is flip this around and try and see if that works. Very carefully. Very. All right. I've got it to a better point where I can glue it back on. So, of course, I'm going to reposition. And just squirt some of this on. And I hope y'all can see what I'm doing. And then hopefully this should work. I mean, if it doesn't, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, it looks like this was the most, like the part that suffered the worst damage, so unfortunately, I might have to just let this dry and wait and see and save it until later. Hopefully the glass doesn't break. So there's that. Alright guys, so what I have here is the broken light, but I also do have a kintsugi kit to save it. So in my previous attempt to try and restore this part of the Moorea's lampshade, I used super glue. But as you can see, unfortunately that didn't work out because when I picked it up, all of the pieces, I'm not even kidding, just came apart, so I'm back to square one. So today I'm going to attempt to repair it using a kintsugi repair kit. Basically kintsugi is a Japanese technique meant to turn old stuff new, like bowls or ceramic that was destroyed. And this is really a great example of how kintsugi is going to be used. So what I'm going to be using is epoxy, this golden power, this bowl to stir the two in, some gloves. Yeah. So the first thing we want to do is we want to take out one of these gold powder and put it inside the bowl. Come on. It's kind of flaky. So we're gonna just put this inside. I think that's about good for what I'm gonna have. I think that's good. So there's that. Alright, so for the most part, this is pieced back together. Now I just gotta wait an hour for it to dry. And as you can see, there's a few cracks like right here. So what we're gonna be doing is putting Kintsugi over, but so far it's come along pretty well. Alright, so here's how it turned out. It's pretty sturdy. I held it on by one of the glued parts and it didn't seem to like crack or break, so I think it's held on pretty well. I was able to get this part on and add some 60-watt bulbs I had left over. But yeah, it's turned out really nicely. So what I've got here is stuff I got from Amazon. This is supposedly cheaper than a Prime Touch receiver and remote. It's a Casablanca universal remote and receiver. I'm gonna see if that setup works on the Moorea. If it doesn't, I'll let you know. So yeah, that's gonna be it. Alright guys, so showed you me getting the new receiver and remote out of the box. And I think it's time to fire it up. So we got the 3 greens right here that are hooked together. We got the AC in wire here hooked up to this. All neutrals hooked together according to a YouTuber. I'm just gonna take his word for it. Blue wire hooks up to pink and red. I think red's for the light and pink's the dimming function. Yellow wires are for kind of reverse and motors for the control. I'm also told that the black wire goes into the yellow. So without further ado, let's see if this works. I'm actually kind of scared. Father, Son, Holy Ghost. And here comes the moment of truth. All right. Nothing bad happened. That's good. The lights are flashing. That's good. So the lights do work. What the heck? But it appears as if I can only control the light, not the fan. Wonder why. I don't want a lamp. Alright, this is odd. Alright, so this may come as a surprise. So I was able to get this Prime Touch remote off eBay, which is supposed to be compatible with this Prime Touch receiver. And theoretically, this fan should work with it because this is the right control system for it. So W505. Without further ado, why don't we see if it works? Looks like the light's turning on, but the fan isn't. So I'll check back with you later. Well guys, as you can see, I've got all 4 of the blades up, and there's really only one reason why. And that's because it works. Thanks to George from Fans Unlimited, and frankly your support. When I got this fan, I got it in junkyard condition. The light kit was absolutely destroyed. This motor housing had dust everywhere. No receiver, no remote. There's nothing. Only thing I was given was parts and a good message from the owner saying, hey, good luck, I hope you can restore this. Well, here it is now. I'm just reversing it. Essentially, I turned this fan from a thing that was supposed to go in a scrapyard into a piece of Casablanca history that not many know. And while I'm yet to correct the scraping of the light kit, just the fact that I was able to turn this into what it is right now is just incredible. Also need to get a new battery box since the remote I got it in was kind of cheap, so I might have to 3D print something for it. But yeah, quite amazing. With that being said, I'll see you in the next one.